Hi there, and thank you for watching the youth submissions for the 43rd Mill Valley Film Festival. I hope you're enjoying watching the short film produced by students 18 and under. I had the privilege of helping to curate this program with 7 young people over the summer. We watched 20 hours of films and came out with a 90-minute program, of which Gollum was one of the productions that was chosen unanimously by the students that I worked with. We have the director of Gollum, Theo, here. How are you doing, Theo?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
Excellent. So we watched your short and it was super intriguing. I'm kind of wondering, there has to be way more to the story than I was able to decipher from watching it a few times. Can you give us a little bit of information on how you came to the idea of making this short?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we've all, this was made during quarantine. We've all sort of been in a state of upheaval, a tiny bit of chaos. And I don't know, my mind sort of fled back to this old story that I used to hear as a kid, which was the Gollum of Prague, which is all about, the Jewish people who are, being in a state of chaos during the pogroms, and this one rabbi goes to this mystical river and creates this sort of savior, this clay monster, and puts a little piece of writing behind his ear, and it goes and attacks all the anti-Semitic people who are attacking the Jewish tribe. And I don't know. I mean, it felt very pertinent as of now for me to tell this story, and particularly the beginning of that story, the sort of sense of hope and the sense of, that we're going to make it through this, and that there is this little baby, this little nugget of an idea that's going to get us through this time period. So, yeah.
Is this, have you produced other shorts?
Yes, I've produced numerous shorts over the span of my short life.
So when did you start filmmaking? When did you start getting passionate about making short films?
Probably middle school. I went to this school called Millikan, and they had a film program there, and I was in it and produced a lot of short films during that time, and then continued ever since.
I'm wondering if Gollum is really represents who you are as a filmmaker now, or is it more representative of the time that we are in, as you kind of indicated it just a minute ago?
Right. I think it's the fusion between the two. It's hard to, separate my own aesthetics, my own ideas, my own feelings with these times. And, it's more of my response to what is happening. So I think in that way it's very personal, but also I feel pretty relevant.
And I was very curious about the technique that you used, the animation technique. If you can enlighten us a little bit about how you physically created this piece.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I used 2 animation styles. The first of which is called palimpsest, where I took charcoal, I would draw with it, and then I'd erase and then draw again. It's not separate pages that you're seeing. It's the same page with the erased marks still somewhat seeable. So that was for the rabbi walking in to the cave-like structure. And then the second part is 2D hands moving over a glass pane, which has gel on top of it, and the baby itself is made out of clay.
Wow.
So it's a combination between palimpsest and 3D stop motion. So, yeah.
Is this a style that you usually, or a technique that you usually use when you're creating film, or do you ever do live action?
Yeah, I'm actually, this is one of the few films that I've animated. I mainly do live action films. But this was a new technique that I was trying out, and it sort of made sense for the objects that I had around the house, and seemed like one of the most doable films to make at this time. Okay.
I'm curious as to what you talk about. Part of the film being the hope that you have for the future. Even though we're kind of in bleaker times right now, I would love to have you tell the audience what your personal hope is for the future for yourself and your journey as a filmmaker.
That's a lot. Well, for these times, I mean, I hope what everyone else hopes, that, you know, a vaccine is going to come soon and we're going to be able to, you know, go back and not fear for, you know, our lives, our loved ones' lives, and go back to some state of normalcy, though nothing will really be normal ever again. I guess we'll just have to adopt to a new normal, but excited for when that new normal comes. And then as for filmmaking, that's what I want to do. I want to be a filmmaker, and, you know, if everything goes well, that's what I'm going to do.
Do you have any concrete plans that you can share with us?
Well, let's see. I'm a senior now, so I'm going to be going to college soon. Looking at a couple of film programs, applying to those ones, and you know, and if I'm just making my own films and making more films. I've got a couple of scripts which I'm working on right now. I'm working with a couple of close friends who live around the neighborhood, and we're all getting tested, but hopefully come together to make this short little film. So, yeah.
Well, I hope that your being selected for the Mill Valley Film Festival will help boost your resume a little bit. We really appreciate your work and the fact that you had the courage to submit it. I want to ask you to give maybe some advice to students who are producing film right now or directing. What would you say to anybody who is creating art but is afraid to show it to the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, the important thing for art is that you have to be constantly creating. That's the only way that you're going to strengthen that muscle, is through repetition and practice and coming up with new ideas and new inspirations. And I think the importance of it is not only that you're constantly working at that muscle, but also that you're sharing it, because, you know, feedback and people's responses, that's all a part of art. Art is something that is, you know, watched, and something that is discussed about and people have conversations about. And so it's just, you know, I mean, it's scary, and a lot of, you know, the greatest art is really personal, but the most important thing is that you've done it and you're sharing it with other people, so other people have that same experience and have something to talk about. Yeah. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Anything remaining that you'd like to share with the audience before we sign off?
Hope everyone's safe.
All right, Theo Taplitz, thank you so much for your work, and thank you for your time. Folks, please continue to watch the rest of the shorts and all the other offerings that the Mill Valley Film Festival has prepared for you in our 43rd year. Thank you for watching.